Hello. Hello and welcome to 5 a Day with Jay. I'm Jay. You might ask, why do I go by JR? Well, because my first name is Jay. Literally Jay. I know a lot of people that go by Jay, and their names are Jim, or James, or Jake, or Jason. I have yet to meet another Jay where that is actually their legal full first name. Everybody I know, and I currently work with two other people on my team named Jay and one named Jason, which never happened before, but both of them, one is a John, one is a James. I'm Jay. That's just, my name is a letter. My dad wanted me to be able to spell my name before I went into kindergarten. So he made my name 3 letters long. Like my brother, John, Jon, no H, 3 letters long. I never did ask my mother or my father why both of us had names that begin with the letter J. Never really occurred to me to ask. But the reason that both of our names were short was because they wanted us to be able to spell our name. It was really that simple. My middle name, pardon me, I didn't turn my phone off. That's better. Back where I was. My middle name is Robert, named after my grandfather, Bob, Bob Adams. And that's how I got my name, J. Robert. And a story my mom would always tell me, the reason that they called me Jay is that there's two parts of this. Had I been a girl, my name was going to be Joy, Joy, but I was a boy, therefore it was Jay. And my mom told me a story many times that when I was born, my grandmother said, "Oh my God, look at him, he's as naked as a jaybird." Guess what my nickname always has been? Hey, it's what my mom always called me, it's what my grandma always called me. I almost was never called Jay or Jaybird. I was just called Bird. And if I was in trouble, then I was Shitbird. And I was in trouble. Or if somebody actually said Jaybird, oh yeah, I was in trouble. And I knew it right away. Anyway, the reason I go by JR, first name Jay, second name Robert, JR. It really is just that simple. And that's my first name and my middle initial, but it's also my first initial and middle initial. And that's why I started doing all my books as J.R. Murdock. Yes, I did have some ulterior motive when I was like, oh, J.R.R. Tolkien, maybe I shouldn't have an R in there. And I'm like, no, that'd be kind of tacky to be J.R.R. Murdock, like, J.R.R. Tolkien or George R.R. Martin. What would the second R actually be for? No, I didn't do it. I do know other people that go by JR. I have a couple of other friends on Facebook that go by JR, and hey, you know what? Nothing wrong with those two initials. I think they're perfectly fine. I did have an idea for a series of books that I wanted to publish, but everything I've written so far has been under J.R. Murdock, and the reason because of that is that's my author name. That's what I've written under, and all of my stuff that I record like that is set for all ages type of reading. I don't want to limit the audience on that. Yes, there may be some scenarios that are more thought provoking than other scenarios, but for the most part, it is all ages. But I do have another series that I want to write that will be more adult in nature and a lot more humorous if I do it right than what I currently write. A lot of what I write is very subtle with the humor. I enjoy that. This one would be a lot more overt with the adult themes, very overt. The language would be not suitable for anyone, any younger audiences. But I want to do those, and we'll probably release those under the name J Bob. This is why I'm telling you my full name so that you understand where I'm coming from. Is that, where that name comes from is my first name and my middle name. My middle name abbreviated to the nickname for Robert, J Bob. I just think it'll be fun to write under J Bob and have fun with those titles. What's in a name? It's my pen name, but it is my name. Just kind of fun having fun with that. Anyway, it's still raining here in San Diego. I just wanted to drop a note here and let you know that, don't know when you're listening to this. For me, it is the 7th of November, 2020, and I will be disappearing for the next few days. And I will talk to you on the other side of those few days. If you're living in the future and you're watching these in reverse order, or I'm already back from my little trip, great. If I do get an opportunity, I will see if I can figure out how to do a recording on my phone while I'm away. I don't know how that'll happen. I don't know if it'll happen. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just giving you a heads up that you may not hear from me for a few days, but everything is fine. Everything is okay. There will be more Murdock Minutes coming. I've dropped a couple more reviews. Paul Cooley, Scott Sigler, Matt Wallace, all great authors. Ones that I really think you should look at and listen to if you haven't already. Listen to, read, enjoy. I also think you should buy my books and listen to them. But that's another story for another day. Anyway, I will see you next time. I have been J.R. Murdock.